Isshin-Ryu sparring techniques. These are the traditional techniques of Okinawa. They're used extensively in the tournaments of the islands, the Ryukyu Okinawan Islands. Many of these techniques can easily apply to American tournaments. They're certainly going to help your timing, speed, and power. Look at this first technique. Excellent. Sliding in. If your opponent blocks the punch, you continue for the point to the rib cage. This is semi-contact training. It's not kickboxing. This is traditional Okinawan point fighting, but it's rough. They allow contact to the body. Very light contact to the face. No damaging blows to the face allowed in competition. Watch the technique again. The punch is blocked. He drives in for the point. Work this in your classes. Work it with your partner. It could be a quick point and a victory for you in American or Canadian tournaments. The next technique is a combination. Back fist. Follow with the reverse punch to the ribs. If your opponent blocks that back fist, he drives in for the point. Very simple, quick point getter. 1, 2. Isshin-Ryu Karate believes in a lot of speed, power, and snap, and simplicity of movements. Get the job done in the shortest amount of time. Back knuckle, really whip that back knuckle at his head. Make him block, open that rib cage up. That's where you sneak in the second point. Now, what happens if your opponent blocks both punches? The master has an answer. Sidestep and counter. Excellent technique. This takes a lot of drilling. Work on it every day, at least 20 minutes a day, and you'll be perfecting it within no time. Back knuckle, block, second punch block, third punch for the point to the ribs. If the first two don't score, the third will, as you can see. Next technique is a shudo. If this is blocked, he follows again with a ridge hand. The point is scored to the back of the neck. Strike, it's blocked, counter. Watch again. Very quickly, like one motion when he does it fast. There's no hesitation. 1, 2. Now, as the kick is blocked, he counters with the side kick. Watch. He doesn't put his foot down. It's one continuous motion. He blocks the kick, triggered back for a side kick, follows with the back knuckle to the jaw. You're scoring 2 quick points. Excellent combination. Study this technique carefully. There's always a follow-up in case a technique is blocked or jammed. You don't just stop if your technique's blocked. It has to be continuous motion. Confuse your opponent at all times. Now, excellent defensive move. As the kick comes, he slaps it away, Checks his back leg in case he tries another spinning back kick, and counters to the head for the point. That leg check is vital in Okinawan tournaments. Combination kick, punch. Watch. Front kick, roundhouse kick, straight punch. The front kick's blocked. He follows it up with a kick off the same leg. Strikes the head. In slow motion. Goes around the block, roundhouse chest, punch the jaw. Now he feeds him a front kick to the midsection. The master wants him to block it to bring his guard down and scores with the punch to the face. Try this one in your training. It works great for a quick point. But drive that front kick hard, because if he doesn't block it, you'll score a point with it. If you throw it out weak, no good. Now, a very traditional Okinawan blocking technique, coming across with the forearm, blocks the kick, follows up, back knuckle, straight punch to the body. One of those punches will score a point. The opponent cannot block both. Forearm block, shuffles in, back knuckle, punch to the ribs. Very strong defensive move and counter. Block, very quickly, 1-2. Again, watch closely. Block with the forearm. Back knuckle, straight punch to the ribs. Now another technique against a roundhouse kick. Same block, this time counter spinning back kick, following with a back knuckle to the jaw in case your spinning back kick is blocked. He starts spinning even as the opponent's leg is in the air. He doesn't give the opponent time to set down. He starts his move now. In slow motion, counters, and counters to the head. Now blocks 2 punches. Punch to the body, punch to the head. With the same hand, and executes his counter to the rib cage. In slow motion, this is the time for you to follow along. You know in tournaments how quick some people are. So you must be ready to block 1, 2, 3, even 4 punches being thrown within a split second. This technique will help you to develop your reflexes. Block, block, point to the ribs. Full speed. Now he executes 2 punches with the same hand, but notice how he checks the opponent's lead hand so he doesn't get countered on. Very crafty move. Blocked and scores to the head. Remember, there's always a counter to a block. Do the technique with the master. Even if you don't have an opponent, follow along. Use your imagination. In this sequence, he checks the lead punch and he counters with a ridge hand and shudo to the ribs. The ridge hand is blocked, so again, as stated earlier, his continuous motion, continuous techniques finds their mark. You might not score on the first try. You might throw 3 or 4 punches and only the last gets in, but that's good enough in point fighting. Get the point. Now, an excellent defensive move against a roundhouse kick. Bring your knee up to your elbow, block the front of your body, and come in with your counter. Look at how well he's covered. The knee offers excellent protection. And when your opponent hits your knee with his shin, he might not want to kick again. So it's a good deterrent. He drills that punch into the chest for the point. Points in Okinawan tournaments are strikes to the midsection, ribs, kidneys, face area, back of the neck. Very simple now. Checking the lead punch against the opponent by slapping it down. Redirecting the opponent's force, driving in your point. Hard into the body. Remember, in Okinawan tournaments, they do allow body contact, so you have to be conditioned to take those shots, especially when your opponent has an inch of callus on his knuckles. Now, an excellent technique against a spinning back kick. The master holds his ground. He just shifts away and gets right back in for the counter. If he stepped back, he could never pull it off, so he holds his ground for the point. This takes a lot of practice, work on your timing and reflexes, distance, rhythm, knowing exactly when to start your attack for the counter. Now the master comes in with a foot sweep, comes off the foot sweep, kicks the ribs. Notice how he fakes first with his lead hand. The point is the kick to the ribs. By hitting the foot, he shakes up his opponent's balance. Fake a punch, hits the leg, comes back. Short hook kick into the ribs for the point. Fake, check the leg, throw your opponent off balance, counter. Watch again. Little fent, brings his guard up, hit him low, hit him high. Just tap his leg, shake him up. You're not really trying to knock him down. You want to disorient your opponent. Now, back fist to the face, brings up the opponent's guard, opens up his ribs for a quick point, side kick to the ribs. Back fist, side kick. Almost one motion. The hand leads the foot by a split second, just enough to shake the opponent's guard. This is a devastating kick. Notice how he shuffles with all his body weight into it. Now, as your opponent kicks to your ribs, block the kick away with an open hand, drive in, straight punch, reverse punch into the midsection for the quick point. In Okinawan tournaments, you're not only judged on the point, but also how it was thrown. You must show good technique. You cannot be losing your balance, falling over, and trying to get a point. You have to be solid in your stance. You have to be strong, back straight up. They make you concentrate on your technique. Now, sidestepping the punch, the master counters with a roundhouse kick to the rib cage of his attacker. Sidestep counter for a quick point. He gets out of the line of the punch. He doesn't even have to block. He's in a safe zone. He has really nothing to lose, only to gain a point. Sidestep, counter. Again, this takes practice to hold your ground and simply sidestep. Most people want to run back, and when they do that, there's no way they can counter. A good counter fighter will hold his ground and work the point in. Now, jumping in, back knuckle strike for a quick point. The secret here is to check the lead hand of your opponent so you don't get countered on. A lot of people, they just jump in with the back knuckle and leave their ribs wide open. This is what you don't want to do. You want to check the lead hand with your rear hand. This way you'll control your opponent for the point. Very important technique. Master drives his body weight forward. One continuous motion. This is what you must work on. Very explosive. Come in like a freight train. Point. Now, coming under the punch, dipping down, and hooking up with your heel into the midsection. Now, to avoid hurting his student, the master strikes with the flat of his foot. Dips away from the punch and counters. Very quick point. Excellent technique. Now, a spinning foot sweep, counter with the punch as your opponent hits the ground. Spin the body around, hit the opponent's leg, take him down, get right on him with the punch. One motion, don't hesitate. Keep your eye on your opponent as you're spinning. Control him. Take him down. Get on him quick. If you hesitate, he's going to shoot up a side kick into your ribs. In there for the point. Now, hitting your opponent low with the roundhouse, fake into the midsection or groin. This will bring his guard down. Leaves his head wide open for a quick high roundhouse off the same leg. Look at the power and speed of the master. Master's 50 years old. How many people his age are in such condition and can execute such speed and power? This should be a motivating factor for you young guys. Kicks low, high. Look at the flexibility. They're not just fast, they're devastating kicks. This is what years of Isshin-Ryu karate training can do for you. It can condition your body into a fine-tuned machine. Low kick, high kick. If he doesn't block the low one, he'll get scored on for the point. If he doesn't block the high one, he'll get scored on. So you're sure to score one or the other. No hesitation. Both kicks within a split second. Watch the speed now. Can you kick that fast? If not, get into the gym and start training. Work on it. Similar technique. Side kick, if it's blocked, come around roundhouse, follow straight punch to the nose. Again, combinations following up. Breaking your opponent's defense, confusing your opponent. 1, 2, 3. Side kick, blocked. Roundhouse score, punch to the head scores. That's 2 points. Again, slowly. Side kick, roundhouse, straight punch. Working on the heavy bag. Now, takedown against a roundhouse kick. Catch the leg. Hook his leg behind. Sweep him down. Counter. Punch. Watch again. Foot sweep. Punch to the midsection for the point. Takedowns are legal in Okinawan sparring competition, as long as you score on your opponent within 2 seconds. No hesitating. You cannot just take your opponent down. That is not a point. You must be scoring as he's hitting the ground. Catch that roundhouse. This takes guts, holding your ground. But once you catch that leg, your opponent is helpless. And you've got that point. Now, jump, roundhouse, fake a foot sweep, throw him off balance, drive your instep, roundhouse kick into the chest for the point. As you sweep the leg, it knocks him off balance, shakes him up, leaves the chest wide open for the score. Another technique that you can work in the gym on the heavy bag. When you work the heavy bag, fake your foot sweep and score the roundhouse into the bag. Watch carefully now. Checking 2 punches and countering with a ridge hand to the head. Block, drive in as you block again, and score. An excellent reflex drill also to work with an opponent. Working these techniques in the gym will give you confidence in the ring. His hands work like a fan. They block everything that comes in its path. Watch it in slow motion now. You cannot begin to have a good offense unless you have a very good defense. And this tape will give you an excellent defense and an excellent offense. But it won't happen overnight. Replay the techniques in your VCR over and over. Study them carefully. Memorize each one. And then get into the dojo, get into the karate school, and work with your training partners. Prepare yourself for your tournaments. Don't look at the tape and expect to win your first tournament the next day. If you can pick 5 techniques you can work in 1 week, that's good. Master 5, then go on to 5 more that you see on the tape, the ones you like. Check this one now. Again, checking the punch, following with a reverse punch to the jaw for the point. Okinawan style technique. They're very big on checking the opponent. Because of the tremendous speed of the Okinawan fighters, they have to be on guard all the time for that other punch that's coming, or that 2 or 3 punches that are coming. Now, jump side kick. As your opponent attempts a technique, punch or kick. Banzai. Jump, striking into the head area. And that poor student, a human punching bag. Now the master executes what is called a double front kick. He throws the first kick low. He wants his opponent to block to leave an opening for the second kick. Excellent technique. Very hard for your opponent to block because of all the momentum coming at him. Now, kicking combination, roundhouse to the head, spinning back kick to the body, follow, punch to the face. Try this one in your next tournament.